Every worker experiences bad days at work, deadlines, a disagreeable team, and plenty of tedious tasks. Believe us when we say that things could always be worse. No, seriously, we mean it. Hello, and welcome back to our YouTube channel Curious Media. Today, we will list some of the most unpleasant jobs in human history. We bet you would never do these jobs no matter what you were paid. Number 1. Accompanying the monarch to the bathroom. During the reign of Henry VII, there were particular people whose job was to accompany the monarch to the restroom. These people were known as toilet attendants. They were also required to, look at whatever transpired there and ensure that the magnificent bottom was spotless after the events. However, this was not in any way a kind of punishment. There was fierce competition among applicants for this position. Why? It meant they had access to the monarch at their most vulnerable state, which meant they could potentially discuss all kinds of topics with them and even have some influence over certain decisions. Number 2. Being a nomenclator. If we talk about dull occupations, being a nomenclator back in the day was the most tiresome job there is. It was not in the least bit risky, but it was exceptionally dull. The ancient Europeans who carried out these activities were, in essence, creating a human version of a telephone directory. They had to recall everything they did, including who they talked to, who they met, and what they said as they went after their employers at different parties. Number 3. Soap making. DIY videos today would lead you to believe that creating soap is a peaceful and simple activity. It's sanitary, right, and it has a pleasant aroma. That, however, was only sometimes the case. Making soap used to be very similar to working as an industrial chemist. Back then, soap was manufactured using things like lye and ash. Everything was mixed together till it turned solid. There was no way lavender or chamomile had a soothing fragrance, and those strong chemicals might hurt the soap maker. Number 4. Being a Knockerupper. We've often pondered how pre-modern humans managed to rise before dawn without the aid of modern conveniences like alarm clocks and mobile phones. And yet, 19th century Britons and Irishmen devised a quite ingenious answer to this problem. The Knockerupper. It functioned much like an alarm clock, but with human beings instead. After seeing that simply knocking on doors wasn't yielding any results, they shifted to a more systematic approach to finding clients. Even worse, they frequently roused their sleeping neighbors, who complained non-stop about the disturbance. In such a case, what was the solution? Something long and stout with a rounded knob at one end. Most workers lived on the ground floor. Therefore, knockeruppers would casually walk the streets and knock on people's windows with sticks. However, this raises a new set of questions. What or who woke up the knockeruppers? Only certain types of people could be hired for this role. They had little trouble transitioning to a nighttime album status and could easily nap throughout the day. However, most knockeruppers were out of work only a short time after alarm clocks became increasingly common. Unfortunately, this perilous line of work remains in demand despite its continued existence. Number 5. Court jesters. Even court jesters didn't always have the best of luck. In essence, they were the stand-up comedians of the day, available on call to entertain the nobility. They weren't there to merely crack jokes all day. They also had to come up with comedic banter, act out skits, read poetry and tell stories, sing songs, and even do acrobatics, all to impress the judges. Even still, being a court jester was considered a prestigious occupation since it allowed its holders access to the highest levels of society. Was that really the case, though? In a word, no. Maintaining employment as a court jester often required much training and education. In any other case, their audience would quickly grow tired of them. Additionally, they were frequently required to show up and perform on the spot, with little to no time for rehearsal. You can't find more improvising pros than them. Which of these would you take up if you had a chance? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Curious Media for more interesting content. Bye.